guys, what's up and welcome back to another video. For the scent of the day, I have this wood wick that I've been working on for what seems like forever. But in the meantime, I did just go through this Ipsy Refreshments candle, and I really did end up liking this one, but sadly it's all gone now. If you're new to my channel, I would love it if you took a few moments to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you will never miss anything interesting. And I also do upload on Instagram and Reddit every single day, so if you like content that's updated daily, be sure to go give me a follow. So guys, this is my first video of the new year, and also my first video back since I've been on a very long vacation. And I don't know if you can hear it in my voice or not, but I'm currently getting over being pretty sick, and I'm doing my best to fully recover, but I felt like playing with some eyeshadow today, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. So like usual, on every Sunday, we do a palette tutorial and a review. And for this week, what we're gonna be using is the GlamLite Burger Palette. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know what this is. It's a pretty iconic palette, but I really did want to create a look with this today and really deep dive into it and see what it's all about. And here's what the color story looks like if you've never actually seen it before. And what we're going to be doing with this today is creating a full cut crease look. So without further ado, I'm going to zoom you in a bit closer and we're going to get started. Hey guys, welcome to part 1, which is the tutorial, and we're about to get started. But before we get on with the actual eyeshadow look, I'm going to go in with my prep steps, which is actually tight lining the eye and priming the eye. And for tight lining today, I'm going to use the color that I'm going to use in my waterline, which is this Urban Decay pencil. And for priming, I'm just going to go in with my old Revlon Candid concealer. Now we're ready to start on the eyeshadow look, and the first brush I'm going to go into is just a really small detail brush, and I'm going to go into a shade called Spinach. And with this shade, I'm going to start slightly above my crease in the middle of my eye and just lightly build a swoop shape all the way out and bring it up to the tip of my eyebrow. And once I have that outer half done, then I'm going to start working on the inside portion. Now after that, it's time to dip into the second shade, which is called Avocado. And we're going to build this one directly on top of that first shade. And still using the same brush, we're going to dip into the yellow shade, which is called Mustard. And this is the last shade that we're going to put on top. And now you can take a fluffy blending brush and buff all this into your skin. Now the next thing that we have to do is cut the crease fully. So I'm just going to take some random concealer and use that for this step. You can use any concealer or eye base that you would like. And for this, I like to start right in the middle of my eye. Now once you have your cut crease drawn on there, then you can just go ahead and fill in the entire bottom portion. Now for this next part, I like to take a little teeny eyeliner brush, and we're going to work on the lid part now. So the first shade I'm going to go into is Red Onions, and I'm going to start by putting this in the inner corner. But I'm going to keep a gap so you can actually see some of that cut crease in the crease. Now continuing on, we're going to go into the shade called Tomatoes, and we're going to put this on the inner third part of the lid, but still being mindful of that gap up top. And the last shade that we're going to go in with is called Caramelized Onions. And we're going to finish up this gradient by bringing it all the way up to the green. Alright, so now we get to move on to our waterline. And I'm just going to use that same pencil that I used for my upper tight line. And for the lower lash line, I'm going to take that same small liner brush and go into a shade called Blue Cheese. And I'm just going to put this on the whole entire lower lash line. Okay, so I'm going to throw on some quick mascara and I will be right back. Alright guys, so here's the finished look. And like I always say, if you want to see it with lashes, make sure to go check out my Saturday pictorial, and I'll have that link down below for you. But I think this is just a fun look with a fun palette. But if you're still interested in hanging out a little bit more with me, then let's get started with part 2. Hey guys, welcome to part 2, which is the review of the Burger palette by GlamLite. And here's what the palette looks like in its full packaging. Now GlamLite is known for their packaging, so I did want to show it to you in its exterior carton. So it comes like this, and then when you open it up, it actually sits inside of a wrapper. So then you pull the wrapper out, and then you slide the palette out, and it looks like a big, gigantic burger. And this packaging is actually squishy like a bun would be. So I just think that this company went above and beyond when it comes to packaging for sure. Now when you peek inside the palette, there's a mid-sized mirror on the inside. And then here's what the color story looks like. There are 16 shades in this palette, and each one weighs 2 grams. So that's a ton of eyeshadow that you're getting in each pan. Now according to my observation, there are 2 different formulas in here. There's mattes and there's metallics. Now with the matte formula alone, I realize there's different types of mattes in here. There's very soft and cream-like mattes, and then there's very stiff and dry mattes. So it just depends which one you're picking is which one you're gonna get. It's definitely not a uniform matte formula, but upon using it, I didn't have any trouble blending it out or layering it up or anything. But some of them did come across very chalk-like, and I just don't really care for that type of formula so much. Now as far as the metallics go, they are very creamy, and each one does have a base pigment, which I do like. And there are a few very special shades in here, like this one right here is kind of duochromatic, so I can really appreciate that. Now something that I'm not fond about with this palette is that each shade in here is a mid-tone, so that really disrupts your creative ability of creating different types of looks. You really don't have enough deep shades to really create depth in your look, and you don't have any light shades to highlight your looks. So you're very limited as to what and how you can create it. Now quickly, I'm going to show you some swatches I took from this palette so you can see how every shade looks swatched out. Okay, so now we're going to talk some facts about this palette. So the inspiration behind the creation of this, as per the company, is that it was inspired by the most delicious burger and all of its toppings and all the included sides. So that's where all the names come from, the packaging, everything. This palette is cruelty-free, and it is vegan. And now we're going to talk about my favorite part, which is the cost. The current cost of this palette is $20. So breaking that down a little bit, it comes to $1.25 per shade. And breaking that down even further, it comes to 63 cents per gram. So as compared to market price, this is a pretty good value for what you are getting. So now we're going to get into my recommendation. I did get a lot of kickback in the pans and did get some fallout on my face, so I definitely recommend doing your eyes before your base with this palette. I didn't get any creasing of the shadows or patchiness while I used them, but unless you're an avid collector of eyeshadow palettes or a person who likes to do one eyeshadow looks, I really honestly cannot recommend this. And there are 3 reasons why. The first reason is that every single shade in here is a mid-tone. And I did get into that earlier, but like I was saying, you're really limited as to what you can create with this palette. The second reason is there's an unbalanced formula ratio, meaning this is very, very matte heavy. You have a lot more mattes than you do shimmers in here, and I like to see more of a balance in my palettes. And the third reason is because this packaging is definitely very difficult to store. Unless you're going to keep it in this box, this is just very irregular shape to stack. So I definitely see that being a hindrance to a lot of people. So yeah guys, that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. And if you did like this video, please give me a giant thumbs up. And if you didn't like it, hit that thumbs down button. And until next time,